Howdy folks, I'm Colorful Common Vetch, carefully causing confusing commotion.
I'm Amber.
And here's more confusing commotion for us to cause, which just happens to be the regular thing that we do every day, which is read Reddit stories. So let's get started on that. Oh, and folks, just a reminder, we actually will not be having any weekend episodes this weekend, so we'll see you on Monday. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for telling my sister I will not warn my parents that my fiancé will be wearing a gothic black wedding dress? I'm a 23-year-old male and a self-described mama's boy. My mom, a 47-year-old female, and my dad, a 48-year-old male, are Christians. They have their ideals, but they have been very appreciating of my fiancé, Yuki, a 27-year-old female. Yuki is an individualist. I obviously haven't seen the dress since I'm the groom, but she has told me she will wear a black wedding dress and carry a gothic black umbrella when walking down the aisle. She has other non-traditional plans for her wedding look, but those two are the most obvious. I'm excited to see Yuki's look on our wedding day. Ironically, she will look ethereal to me, but I know that my parents won't like Yuki's look. My sister Ashley, a 20-year-old female, has seen Yuki's dress, and she's actually been good at refraining from giving any details. Ashley said that Yuki's dress is gorgeous, but she's worried about mom and dad. Ashley suggested that I should warn our parents so they don't feel blindsided. I know my parents process disappointing news better when they are given a heads up, but I know Yuki wants her dress to be a surprise. I know if I ask Yuki, I could warn my parents. She will wonder if I'm cowing to my mom's wishes. I told Ashley that I don't think that I should warn my parents. Ashley mentioned how our parents have been accepting of Yuki, but a wedding is a serious thing for our parents. That a gothic black wedding dress means something totally different to them. I told her I know, but Yuki wants it to be a surprise to the guests. So it will be a surprise to the guests. Ashley accused me of intentionally antagonizing our parents, and I told her to let Yuki be and don't try to pressure her to change her mind. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, I don't think OP's a jerk here. I think the important thing is what do Yuki and OP want? You know, it's their day, and at the end of the day, like, it's up to the parents whether they can handle it or not. Like, if you are so fixated on the color of a dress that it's going to ruin your experience of your son's wedding if his bride has a black dress, then, like, maybe you need to work on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's unfortunate that they might not be accepting of her dress, but it's Yuki's wedding dress. This is what she wants to wear, and she wants it to be a surprise. And I think, like, OP is right. If he's like, oh, we should warn my parents, then it's going to be a bit hurtful to her, probably.
I mean, I think it's different between asking her what she wants to do. Like, if he wants to be, oh, by the way, my parents, you know, might be surprised by your wedding dress. Do you want to give them a heads up or not? Whatever you want to do is fine. I think it's fine to, you know, just make sure that they're on the same page because, you know, it's not necessarily fair to guess what Yuki wants. It's good to give her a say and ask her. But if she's like, no, I want it to be a surprise, then just let it be.
Yeah, and I think that would be a really reasonable approach. I just meant it wouldn't be good for OP to be like, I'm going to go tell our parents, my parents or something like that. So, yeah, definitely get her input if she wants to. And I think that might be a good approach. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck.
I want a second wedding now so I can wear a gothic ball gown.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for asking my boyfriend to take better pictures of me? Currently on holiday with my boyfriend, and he's been taking pictures of me throughout the day, and when I had a look at them, I didn't like them. They are just badly taken photos. He told me that I was being dramatic, and when I suggested that we look at them together and I explained what I don't like so that he can do a better job, he said that he wasn't interested in learning and that I'm asking for too much. I'm not asking for him to be my personal photographer. I don't expect constant pictures and hundreds of them. I just want a few nice photos of myself for memories. But now he's made me feel like I'm the problem and I've ruined the holiday. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not a jerk. I mean, assuming that this is a reasonable number of photos, this sounds more like weaponized incompetence than anything. It sounds like he doesn't want to be OP's photographer, and instead of saying that up front, is like, nah, I won't learn, and just takes bad pictures. Now, I understand the frustration if your partner is asking you for tons and tons of photos and they don't like any of them, but like assuming this is a reasonable number of photos, and I think OP says in the comments that they're poorly framed shots and stuff like that, like not even looking at her full on or really unflattering, like intentionally unflattering. that, is a hugely different thing from, oh, well, that's, you didn't get my good side type of things.
I have mixed feelings on this one. I think that certainly OP should get pictures that she likes, but I also think that not everyone does a good job at photography, and not everyone wants to be good at photography, right? Like, some people just don't really care. They're fine with whatever pictures they take. And I mean, I've known people who think that they're really great photographers and think they're doing a great job of it, but they just don't frame things well. They think that spontaneous shots that are aiming mostly at the ground are like good pictures, and they take a lot of artistic choices with the photos because it makes them look better or something like that, right? And it may just be that he feels like he's doing a good enough job and doesn't need guidance on how to take a picture. He's like, I know how to take a picture, right? But like, and OP clearly disagrees with him on that respect. So it just may be that they have different ideas about what a good photo is, and maybe he just has no idea what a good photo is.
Yeah, I mean, I think though, like, if photos are important to your partner, hopefully you value them enough to take a few good shots. Like, I am someone who likes a lot of photos, and I'll tell Brian what I like and don't like, and now he can do a pretty good job getting like pictures that I'm at least happy with the framing of. Like, there's always, it's a huge different thing if she's like, oh well, I just don't look good in this, and like, because you can feel self-conscious and like, about like, there's nothing that Brian can do to like fix my face if I don't like how my face looks on a day. So if it's more concerns about things that are on her, like, oh, I just am not happy with how I look in this picture, then she needs to take a step back and be like, is that something that can be changed? But if it's like, oh, this is really bad framing, why did he only get a picture of my feet? Then that's
There's
a different
probably
story.
a reason for that.
No.
Well, let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Correcting My Coworker When She Assumed That I Was a Vegetarian and Started Bringing Me Vegetarian Food Every Week? This started about 2 months ago and now has become a whole thing. I work in a small office. There's a woman on my team. I'll call her Beth, who is really into cooking and brings homemade food to share pretty often. She genuinely is a great cook and everyone looks forward to it. One day she brought a lentil soup in and I said something like, "This is incredible." And she said, "I figured that you would like it since I know you don't eat much meat." I have no idea where she got that from. I eat meat. I eat a lot of meat. But in that moment, I just kind of nodded and said, "Yeah, it's really good." I don't know why I didn't correct it. I just think that I just didn't want to make it weird and assumed that it wouldn't come up again. Well, it did come again, and she started specifically making vegetarian dishes and mentioning that they were for me. She would say things like, "I made these without meat since I know you don't eat it." Everyone in the office now seems to think that I'm a vegetarian because she has told them. Well, last week, someone offered me a bite of their chicken and looked genuinely confused when I took it. The thing is that her food is really good and I've genuinely enjoyed everything that she's made. I haven't been strictly suffering, but I've also just been silently watching this whole identity get built around me for 2 months. I know I need to say something. I just also know that the longer it goes on, the weirder it is that I've never said anything. And now I feel like the correction is going to be more awkward than if I just had said it on day one. Am I the jerk here for letting this go on as long as I have? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, you're not the jerk. And I think there are a few different approaches you can take here. One is you can just keep eating the food and just not comment on it, the vegetarianness or lack thereof. Two is you could be straightforward and just explain that you felt awkward day of and didn't want to make things awkward, but now you have made things more awkward. But just so she knows, you love all of her food, but you're not actually a vegetarian. So, and then you can always go the route of just saying you changed your diet, but that's like the least awkward one maybe, but also like the least honest one. So,
I think that OP can still recover the situation. I think that, like you said, that if they explain to her that they really love her meals and that they know that she was coming from a really great place and that they really appreciate that but they aren't a vegetarian and they will happily take vegetarian meals from her anytime that she'd like, though, because they're delicious, right? And I think if OP phrases it that way, then that's going to not hurt, and I think it's going to make it not an awkward situation, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you just tell her that her food is so good that you didn't even miss the meat.
Yeah.
Like, be like, yeah, legit, your vegetarian food is amazing. Like,
So it is a difficult situation, but I do think OP needs to correct it now, because it does seem like this is kind of getting out of control, and that needs to happen now before OP actually has to just go around pretending like they're a vegetarian for the rest of the time that they work there. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Girlfriend That She Needs a Hobby? Well, I've been with my girlfriend for 2 years. She is great. She's beautiful, funny, outgoing. The only thing is, since we first started dating, I noticed that she doesn't really have any hobbies. She has interests. She loves listening to music. She loves going to farmers markets when they're in town. She is down to go to any comedy show. She loves to travel. The majority of her career is spent traveling. She gets flight benefits, so she takes international trips with her friends and me like 5 times a year. She's pretty spontaneous and is up for anything. She also does have a lot of friends and spends a good amount of time with them when she can. Well, the thing is, those things that I listed aren't things that you can do daily. She doesn't have a set of hobbies that she can do when she isn't working. She is content with just watching Netflix, doing her little self-care stuff, like taking a hot bath and putting on her face masks, and maybe making dinner if she's up for it, or going for a walk. Other than that, she doesn't really have a particular hobby like golf or tennis or something. Well, when I got home from work today, she was just laying on the couch watching some series. I asked her what she did today, and she said, not too much, just been watching my show. That's when I told her that she should take up a hobby. She asked why, and I said that it would just be good for her. Well, she said, well, I can cook and bake sometimes when I'm off. Is that not a hobby? I told her it was, but she should get into something that she looks forward to doing. For me, that's golf and pickleball. She will go to the golf course with me, but she just watches and doesn't play. I told her that I just think that it would be beneficial and make her more interesting as a person. I guess that didn't sit well with her, and she said that was kind of rude for me to say. I told her that I wasn't trying to bash her, but I don't think that it's normal just not to have a single hobby. She's now mad at me and thinks that I'm criticizing her life. Am I the jerk for saying that she should take up a hobby? I don't see how that's rude. I love her, and I'm just trying to help her get more involved in something. All right, folks, what do you think?
oh yes, OP, you are a major jerk here. I mean, telling her, oh, it would be make you a more interesting person. Like, first of all, she has plenty of hobbies. A hobby doesn't have to be something you do every single day. Many people can only do their hobbies once in a while, and it doesn't make them any less hobby because it's not something you can do every day. But even if she didn't have hobbies, saying, oh, well, it would make you a more interesting person, like you're telling her that you're not happy with her as she is, that you want her to change for you to find her interesting.
You know, I think that's extraordinarily ironic that the man who thinks that golf is a hobby and tells the OP tells his girlfriend that she needs to be more interesting, has the audacity to say that. I mean, not that golf is like not an interesting thing. It's terribly uninteresting to me.
Well,
right?
that's it.
And I think that's really kind of what it boils down to. Not every hobby is for every person. She does have hobbies. They're just not hobbies that OP approves of, right?
Well, that's it. And like, it's fine if you don't like her hobbies, but you know, like someone who finds golf interesting, like if they think like golf is not a personality trait, it doesn't make you an interesting person.
Yeah.
It's something you do. It can be something you enjoy, but it's not like you are inherently an interesting person because you swing a golf club at golf balls.
Mm-hmm. So I just think that OP needs to get over themselves and not assume that they're the most interesting person in the world because they play golf. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Today I Messed Up by Telling My Gym that I'm moving to Portugal so that I could cancel my membership, and now they keep mailing me Portuguese visa application info. Okay, some backstory. About a year ago, I wanted to cancel my gym membership. It was that boutique kind where you have to talk to a human. I'm 42 and I panicked anyways. She asked why I was canceling and I said that I'm moving to Portugal. I'm not moving to Portugal. I was between leases for a couple of months and the gym was 20 minutes from my new place. But you can't say it's not convenient anymore to a 22-year-old in a polo shirt who's been trained to save the relationship. So I said Portugal. She gasped. She literally gasped. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. She asked about the lifestyle. I made up a beach. She put it in my file. She said, well, we have a sister gym in Lisbon. Do you want me to email you a referral? I said, sure, because I panicked again. So then the email comes. It has a Portuguese visa PDF attached. There's a line about your move, signed Bora Sorte. Well, that was 11 months ago, and every single month I get a follow-up email. How is Portugal? Did I find an apartment? One of them was titled, Missing You Back Home. Another one had a photo of a pasty de nata. I live in the same city that I always have. I have not been to Portugal. I do not speak Portuguese. I googled what pasta de nata was. This morning I got an email saying, happy first year anniversary at your new home, with a personal handwritten message from Claire. I don't know who Claire is. I think that she might run their Portugal program now. I think there might not be a Portugal program. I think Claire might be writing these to me specifically because she got attached. I'm 42, and a customer service rep in another time zone is more interested in my fictional life than my actual one. I've been thinking that I should reply and say that it didn't work out and I moved back. But the level of detail I would have to fabricate to explain a year of fake Lisbon life is impossible. I don't even know what their currency is. At this point, I'm just going to keep being Portuguese forever now. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I think that it's a gym. You don't owe them an explanation. Like, you can stop going to places that you don't want to go to anymore, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'm seriously incredulous about this story, I just want to say, but assuming that this story is actually real, OP needs to come forth and tell the truth. And,
or just unsubscribe from the email.
Or just unsubscribe. And like this whole thing of being like, oh, I would have to explain to them why I moved right back from Portugal. No, you don't. You just say, hey, it didn't work out. I'm back in the country, blah, 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 right? And you're already canceled your gym membership. And when they ask you, oh, well, are you coming back to the gym? All you need to say is, no, I'm sorry. It's not convenient with the location. And I think like the fact that the person was like, oh, well, how am I supposed to explain to a 22-year-old in a polo shirt how it's inconvenient? You just say that and say, it's not convenient anymore. I moved. That's all you need to say. Well, you don't have to tell them that it's only 22 minutes, right?
Well, the hard part is like the guilt tripping, but like, because, they are not designed, but, trained to like try and get you to keep your membership no matter what. And if you say, oh, I moved, they're like, where did you move to? Oh, we have a gym like in this area. Yeah,
I mean, OP doesn't even need to say anything like that, though. They just need to say, I moved and it's not convenient anymore. That's all. They don't need to give any details. And if they ask, oh, well, where'd you move to? OP can just say, it doesn't matter. I'm not interested anymore.
Or just find somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Well, but I mean, that's just, again, back to the line.
I even know. I'm just being silly.
So I don't know. I think that honesty is the best policy, but also you don't have to make your whole life an open book for these people. And you just can say no, and no can be a final full sentence, right? But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, share the joke.
What do you call bears without ears?
Oh, I would call them bees.
Bee.
Or yeah, that would make sense. You said ears, so not ear. I was just like a beads. I took the ear out of the bears because I guess I'm cruel.
Yes.
And I have Earl Grey.
And it's a very special day today. It is Alien Parasite Day.
Yeah.
This is another little thing from my desk. So it's the tag says Alien Parasite, and it's just a little bit of hot glue with some little black dots for eyes.
Oh, you lied to me. I thought that was an alien parasite this whole time.
Yeah.
I've been terrified of it.
Yeah. Or is it? Or maybe I'm lying to you right now, trying not to scare the viewers.
Is this like the Portugal thing all over again? You need to really come forth and tell the truth about that gym, Amber.
No, it's just I had an X-Files birthday party, many years ago now, and so I made this little alien parasite, and I would put it out with my Halloween stuff, and one year I forgot to put it away, so I just put it on my desk until it was convenient to put away, and then I've never put it away, so it lives on my desk now.
And also...
So I think I forgot to talk about this pretty much at all, but I have a new short story out in this anthology, My Friends in Hell. It is a friendship horror anthology. And it has stories from 25 different authors. If you've read some of my other anthologies that I've been in, you probably will recognize some of the names. My story is called With Sisters Like These, and it's a sorority horror story. It's kind of a dark comedic horror, so
Yeah. And I'll try to remember to put a link in the comments and one on the post area. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Fantastic Friday, folks.
Happy Friday.
Thanks so much to Amber for joining me for a second day in a row.
Thank you for having me.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on lying to the gyms.
If you lie to your gym, you got to go all in and move to Portugal.
Yeah, I guess so. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all on Monday.
Bye.